we have a lot of talk in the society or in people outside that AI is taking off jobs of many individuals.
AI replacing major companies like Microsoft.
AI is already taking jobs.
AI will lead to widespread unemployment.
AI replacing some human workers.
Now, when we talk about this scenario from a management perspective, I'm sure there are, leaders who are, having 20 years of experience in the industry or maybe more than that. So how do you address this problem or this scenario, I would say?
So I think it can take this particular role, but there are lots of other roles which cannot be done. So what we see nowadays is, yes, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear which is going around.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous.
I won't say that everything of that is true, but some of them is partially true. So we see a lot of this, you heard Sam Altman talking about in the India AI Summit about something called AI washing. So it's like due to different reasons, maybe economic slowdown, so companies are removing people, but then they need to show something. They can't say that their turnovers have gone, their figures have gone down, and it's going to affect their valuation. So they find AI as a convenient scapegoat. So you see that particular thing happening. Having said that, I will not say that these fears are completely unfounded. Yes, there are things which are happening. There have been instances where companies have gone and replaced people.
Hi everyone, my name is Mona Lisa Khatua, and today we are back with another episode of bridging the gap between the academic as well as the corporate learning from a student's perspective. So we bring you perspective from corporate leaders, from academic visionaries. Basically we have answers to all the questions that might be running behind your mind. So today we are very fortunate to have with us Professor Shubh. So we welcome you. Professor Shubh takes care of IT and AI at iBusiness Institute. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, Mona. It's a privilege for me to join you on this podcast and contribute my knowledge to the student community and the listeners.
Okay, sir. We'll start. We'll start with the basic question, but not so basic question, I must say. We have a lot of talk in the society or in among people outside that AI is taking off jobs of many individuals. Now, when we talk about this scenario from a management perspective, I'm sure there are leaders who are having 20 years of experience in the industry or maybe more than that. And when you hear such things from these leaders, I think this leaves a deep scar in the mind of fresh management students. I would sometimes say that it's a joke, because it's not true that AI can take away the jobs completely. So how do you address this problem or this scenario, I would say?
Yeah, the moment you called it a joke, Mona Lisa, I think so don't you expect that in the next podcast I might be sitting with somebody else and you may not be there?
If you're talking that an AI might be there, who could interview you? So I doubt this. I'll tell you why I doubt this, because you see, we are having a human conversation, and I think definitely AI is everywhere, but it cannot take away the human touch.
Okay, so I think it can take this particular role, but there are lots of other roles which cannot be done. So what we see nowadays is, yes, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear which is going around. I won't say that everything of that is true, but some of them is partially true. So we see a lot of this, you heard Sam Altman talking about in the India AI Summit about something called AI washing. So it's like due to different reasons, maybe economic slowdown, so companies are removing people, but then they need to show something. They can't say that their turnovers have gone, their figures have gone down, and it's going to affect their valuation. So they find AI as a convenient scapegoat. So you see that particular thing happening. Having said that, I will not say that these fears are completely unfounded. Yes, there are things which are happening. There have been instances where companies have gone and replaced people. Like there's this famous example of this Dukaan.com where they replaced the team, the sales and the initial marketing team, and 2 years later they came back and said that like, what would you expect after 2 years? They would say, they've replaced the entire marketing team with AI bots. So what do you expect after 2 years? They'll come and say the normal thing.
They would not be satisfied with the results.
But on the contrary, they were extremely happy, and they said, okay, this is how we have got, these are the parameters that have improved, and then now we are going to extend the same thing to the other team, to the accounts team and this team, that team. So that's one of the examples. I won't say that has been replicated often, but that is there. So AI is going to take away, but doesn't mean that everybody is going to suffer with that. There could be downsizing of teams, but then, so if there are 100 people, it could be downsized on an extreme case to almost a level of 20, like, by 80% cut down. But these 20 people are going to be there. It cannot be zero. So again, it boils down to the same old joke wherein, the person said that, so a lion was chasing two people, and the person, one of them was running, he said, I don't have to run fast, I just have to run faster than you. So it's like that. So these 20 people have to run faster than the remaining. So you need to run faster and be on that 20% band. When I say run faster, develop those skills, those abilities, and you will be in that 20%. So that's what matters, and that's what our effort here in the institution is to do with the students, to keep them in that 20%.
Okay, sir. Since we talk about AI and the changing world, you see MBA courses are, more or less comparatively changing every day because the industry is changing. And when we talk about PGDM course, you see we are an industry-oriented course, and everything changes rapidly with the change in the, corporate environment. So, what do you think, something that you're teaching to the student in the class on Monday stays relevant till Friday?
Okay, so there's this classic again joke in this context which says that most of the management courses are 2 years behind the actual field, whatever is there in the field. So the syllabus takes 2 years to, so you make a change and the syllabus gets updated later, and it comes. So and the current rate of change in the world has been extremely is increasing at an exceedingly high rate. Which brings down this so-called the rate of obsolescence, increases the rate of obsolescence. The obsolescence happens faster.
Okay.
Not only in any syllabus or in courses, but even in the products and segment and in the services in the industry. So I won't say PGDM courses are insulated from that, so they are also subject to that. But what we do here is we have a portion of the syllabus which is like deliberately kept variable, and so we always every year we update. There are regular meetings that we go through the process, update the syllabus. Syllabus is updated, and despite that, you never know what tools, what new things are going to come during the course. So the faculty has got that gap, wherein they can fit in whatever is contemporary during that time. So at IBI, these things are being taken care of, very well. So, for example, I'll give another example. There is this. Okay, to specify further in this, that there are tools. Okay. So many of the B schools, they go for training the students on the tools. We what we do is we don't just train on tools. We do train on tools also, but apart from that, we also train the students on the underlying logic. So tomorrow a new tool comes up, you are ready with the logic and you can implement it there.
Right.
So you go not only ready with being industry ready, wherein you out of the box are ready with the tools and are able to use it. That is there. Apart from that, the new thing comes up, you are still ready. Okay, so you must have heard about this latest trend which has been going on, the open claw. Okay, so and it revolutionized things.
Right.
And the open claw was nowhere to be seen a year ago. Okay, then there was this automation tool called N18. Now take our students. You know, N18 gained traction a year and a half ago, but our students, you know, so when we spotted this trend, the students were trained on using N18, the automation, the AI agent creation system, and they learned that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. This, you know, again taking a trail from your answers, you see, you talked about AI tools, and let me add, you know, another term, case studies, let's say. So we here, you know, teach AI tools. We also, you know, make them study on various case studies that are there. So what do you think, cannot a student, you know, take down or learn these AI tools, or maybe study these case studies on maybe YouTube or any online platform for just 500, let's say, or 1000, or max 2000, 2500 rupees? Why bother to spend, you know, a hefty amount into a management, you know, college?
Okay. Again, you know, so our audiences, most of them are the younger generation. So, and they are all aware of the viral trends. So there was again a viral post couple of months ago, and still it's there, you know, floating around.
Okay.
Where people were saying, why do an MBA or PGDM? Okay, I think precisely it's the same thing. Why do you want to spend 2 years, or why do you want to spend money on this particular course? Again, you know, what is the other substitute? So you have the people were saying, now you can always learn. One point was the previous question, things not getting updated. Now here you see, we are practically an example, the course is updated, and something gets released and students learning in 6 months. Okay. The next point is, now you gotta get cheaper alternatives from YouTube, and okay. So will YouTube give you live projects? Will YouTube give you a peer learning? Okay. Or will YouTube give you something wherein you go for the case study, case has been analyzed, you come up with a new point you want to ask, so you want a live application of the learning from the case. You can't do that. You might do from your own initiatives, but it will not be strong. Here you have a complete system, no, not just the system, but rather the ecosystem, wherein you have your peers, you have faculty who's guiding you, and you have people who are actually bringing industry people onto, you know, to interact with you. So all those things you won't get at any other platform. If I were to use that word, also platform, you won't get it as it is here. You know, the hands-on thing, you know, the interacting physically, face to face, none of that you are going to get.
That physical presence, and I think an ecosystem like you quoted is very much important for the development. I think we 100% cannot really rely on the online platforms for sure. Definitely. So you know,
I'd like to add on this particular, build on this a little bit more. So in one of the courses, so what we did is, we not only in one of the courses, in most of the courses, but then I'm talking specifically about something where we like, I took an initiative, and then this the students were asked to go to the field, bag projects.
okay.
Convince the client and get a project to build something for them, and they were encouraged to also make it a commercial project if possible. You know, as far as, so they were given better credits if the project was a commercial one. Commercial in the sense for them only, like we are not talking from the institution point of view, for them, because that's what they are going to do once they are out in the field. They are going to so they are not just going to apply the theoretical, I mean, they are not just going to learn the theoretical thing, you know, they are going to apply it and make it something as a skill in their own with them, you know. So that's what we do in almost all the courses. So which again you won't get on YouTube.
Right. I think that is a very great initiative taken by you, because I don't find this many B school doing that, you know, asking their students to go out in the field and, you know, get some commercial projects. I think it is something which is very important, because, you know, at the end of the day, when we talk about hiring also in general, recruiters do ask, you know, the practical experience, the practical exposure, and I think this is what is a realistic I think amazing example of how we make our student practically ready to crack an interview. So kudos to you for doing that, I think.
Oh, that's kudos to the institution, the head of the institution, and the team rather.
For
So it's not
sure.
really-
I think the vision remains, same with the people. So my next question to you would be, related to the certification. We here at IBI also, encourage students to do certification. We have tie-ups with EY also, and we also, encourage them to do various certifications. You see, these days, recruiters, they also check on if how many certification does the person has, done in their I think 2 years of journey of PGDM. I would say there are two type of people, right? One who collect, keeps on collecting certification, and there is this one set of people who actually, bring in value after doing those certification. So how do you, address this situation from a recruiter's point of view?
Okay. So in a way, again, builds on my like previous answer to your previous question. So people go for certification nowadays. In the interviews and in the corporate, they become also very clever. They are able to detect somebody who's just collecting certificates, a series of certificates, and somebody who's able to who's actually a go-getter, or is able to really replicate whatever he or she claims on the certificates in reality. So it's not about, again, as I said, no, it's not about just, certification is for tools, okay? But tomorrow that tool changes. So today, the hot thing which is going on is, let's say in data analytics, like Power BI, okay? So tomorrow Power BI goes off, let's say, something, every time something or something or the other new is coming up.
Correct.
So maybe some AI enabled or something comes up, you never know. So your certification of Power BI is gone.
Right.
Okay. So now, yes, but so shouldn't you do those certifications? Yes, you should. You should. But you should have the underlying logic of building that dashboard. The logic, why are you placing those rules and why are they relevant and why do you put that color or that particular representation over them. So once you have that logic, and that most of the logic is again connected with human behavior. Okay. So now if you understand that the value of what you are doing and its importance for the human behavior, who is the ultimate audience ultimately. So then tomorrow a new tool comes up, you are going to apply the same rule, add on to it, build on that and create. So companies are looking for your skills, your actual skills, how you are able to do practically. So that is one. Now how do we get that done at IBI is we have this live projects, we have these internships, okay. So now these internships, live projects, and as I said, the in course projects, so they help the students to apply whatever certification they've gathered during the course, apply it and know the nuances of of using it. So you might know everything, but then when you go and something small breaks and you can't figure out.
Correct.
And then once you are actually hands-on, after doing 3-4 times, you know that. You know that joke again, where this there was this vehicle which had broken down, and so the person was trying to spend it's a hot afternoon and spend hours trying to solve, but then there's a mechanic who comes up and within 2 minutes he sorts it out. And then he asks, okay, so what was the thing? So he says, no, that so how much is the bill? So he says, okay, the bill is about 5,000 rupees. And then he says, okay, so what is the problem? What part did you replace? No, this screw, this bolt was loose, I just tightened it.
Correct.
So he said, okay, just 5,000 for tightening up this bolt. He said, yeah, because I spent hours, I spent more than 5,000, I spent a lakh of rupees to learn that this problem is caused by this bolt. So, and you are paying for not for this 5 minutes that 2 minutes that I spent, but rather the hours that I spent. So again, what I wanted to say is, you should know where this bolt is loose, which one to tight. So the moment you know that, you will not spend hours, and companies are looking for that particular aspects, and that's what we do here.
Shouldn't we say that it's the basic, it's the roots that needs to be, well versed? When you talk about, when you give an example of tightening the bolt and where exactly you need to, tighten the bolt, it says a lot that, you should be very much intact with the roots, with the basics.
Yes, roots, again, even if you know the basics, so again, these things can't be taught.
Right.
These things can be facilitated. That's what we do. Once we facilitate, it has to be done by the student himself or herself. And so, despite being connected with the root, you might not. So you may be knowing that's the bolt which is causing the problem, but it might not strike you at that moment. That will happen only when you do practice. So we have this, so I don't know, many people may not be aware of something called this Bloom's taxonomy, which basically talks about how the knowledge gets created, and that's what we follow here. And in fact, every institution should follow that, but we follow this diligently. So, which again says that a knowledge, initially you just learn, memorize it, and then you start applying. Then you start, the ultimate level is wherein you start creating. You have got the ability to evaluate, which is just the the level, final level before the level before the final level, in case of Bloom's taxonomy, where you got the ability, now you can evaluate. You can say this is right, this is wrong. Okay. After that, then you create. Okay. So now this thing comes up only when you start applying, doing hands-on. So yes, the roots are important, but it's something more than that, which
experience
you get here,
and the practice is very much important. Very rightly said. So I will end up this with another question. I would say, when we talk about the general mindset of the people, there are people, or I would rather say there are students who are very intelligent. They are go-getters. Recruiters hire them. And then there are students who are average, I would say, not a go-getter or cannot really crack interview in the first go or let's say second go. So when we talk about a PGDM classroom, we have a mix of both, right? So what cheat code would you provide to students who are average or let's say below average to be recruiters go-getter, to become recruiters go-getter?
Okay. Now, addressing only the average and the below average would be injustice for the high scoring students.
Okay.
So let me give something which is a cheat code equally for all of them.
Okay,
right?
definitely.
Okay. So again, it's not something miraculous which I'm speaking, but it is something which is very current as on date, and it's going to stay for long. First of all, summing up again from what what jobs AI is going to take away. Again, these views are like, I'm speaking out my views, but then have been shaped from the inputs that I've received from experts all around the world. So, if you want to stay relevant in the AI age, first of all, the most important thing that you need to have with you is the ability to learn how to learn. Okay? You should be able to learn, you should learn how to learn. I mean, you should know how to learn actually. The moment you know how to learn, because AI is constantly changing, so you'll be able to continuously adapt. Not only that, AI needs to be trained. Once you know how to learn, you are going to give the same thing to AI. So companies are going to look for it for you. Okay, this is the person. If I recruit, this person is going to create new AI agents for me. It's going to efficiently use the AI for me. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Your ability to learn, that has to improve. And not ability to learn, rather how to learn, that knowledge. And your research skills. Okay. Third is you should be you should consider yourself not as a learner who has come for 2 years, but for a life, you should be a lifelong learner. Okay, and again, this is what we here do. Now, we are not targeting, whenever we do design a course, we design a syllabus, we are not looking at that 2 years that we are good, like, our student is going to get placed after at the end of 2 years. Okay, that's very important, that's there. Apart from that, we are also making, keeping this in mind and giving full thrust to it, that our student 6 years, 10 years down the lane, 20 years down the lane should be able to still leverage on whatever has been laid down in the foundation in these 2 years. Okay, so, but the student should equally keep in mind that I am learning here not just for these 2 years just to get a placement, but also to acquire something which is going to stay for me for my entire professional career. Okay. And the last one which I would say is, instead of just focusing on having some certificates or some qualifications, or I know how to use this tool, own the outcome.
Right.
Okay, always evaluate whatever you have done and whatever you apply, what is the outcome. Has it improved for whosoever you are working, or whatever you are contributing? Has it improved the ultimate thing? What is that outcome?
Correct.
That outcome is yours.
Right.
So most of the times people own the certificate, the skill, the tools, but the cheat code would be, instead of, yes, do that, but don't say that I own this.
Correct.
Rather, think in your mind, think inside your mind and say, I own this outcome.
Correct.
And as on date, most of the companies, they are looking for these, evaluating students from these outcomes that you have achieved.
Correct.
Again, outcomes. So that applies even when you switch a job after 6 years or 10 years. The same thing applies at that point of time also. They'll ask you, what is the outcome that you have achieved in your previous university? So that's what you need to keep in mind. So
very rightly said, sir. I think there's this one common thing that I find in almost all the podcasts that we have done is the vision of IBI. Starting from the director, Dr. Shweta Saurabh, to you, sir. I think it's commendable as an institute. Everybody is on the same page. We just not talk about the placement of the student after, during this 2 years of course, but also talk about after 2 years, what is happening after 2 years. You should really think about not just about these 2 years, but after those 2 years also. So I think it is really commendable that IBI, everybody is under the same roof, under the same page, on the same page, I would say.
And our leader, he's the one actually maybe creating all this.
Correct.
So when I had my first discussion with him, and that's the same thing, his vision about the institution, which made me, to zero upon this institution, and even foregoing many other, I would say, whatever, many other options, So the precise vision was, to make this institution a world-class institution. I know that's going to be a long journey, but it's something which I hadn't heard anywhere.
Correct. Very rightly said, sir. So thank you so much. It was really very insightful, and I'm sure for the viewers also who are viewing this, it must be very insightful for you guys also. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. It was really amazing and my pleasure talking to you.
It was also great talking to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
That's great, sir.